Terence Crawford has kicked off a mini training camp in preparation for his September showdown with Canelo Alvarez. Fresh off recovering from an injury, the undefeated world champion is ramping up his training intensity as the fight approaches. He's made an impressive start, experimenting with new techniques and weight-building strategies to minimize his size disadvantage in the ring. The potential September showdown between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford could go down as one of the most exciting fights of the past decade. Boxing fans have plenty to look forward to in 2025, with numerous long-awaited matchups expected this year. Among them is the highly anticipated clash between Canelo and Crawford. According to EssentiallySports.com, credit for making this fight possible goes to Arab Sheikh Turki Alal Sheikh. Reports say he recently met with Canelo to discuss business, including a multi-million-dollar purse to secure the rights to the Mexican superstar's upcoming fights.
That's right, Cap. Run it up, Cap. That's right. Hold him close, hold him close, hold him close. There you go, hold him close.
Alal Sheikh and Canelo have reportedly agreed to schedule the fight against Crawford for mid-December, aligning it with Mexico's Independence Day celebrations. However, the main concern isn't just the fight itself, but the weight difference between the two fighters. Many boxing experts, including former world champions like Mike Tyson, are questioning how the southpaw from Alabama will handle the challenge of competing two weight classes above his usual, with a 14-pound difference separating him from Canelo. Terence Crawford, renowned for his exceptional skills and undefeated record, is a prime example of the impact of disciplined training and strategic conditioning. To prepare for his fight against Canelo Alvarez, Crawford is focusing on both physical and mental strength, setting himself apart in the boxing world. His current training routine is a well-rounded mix aimed at enhancing his boxing skills, maintaining a peak fitness, increasing punch power, and gaining the necessary weight to compete with Canelo. A typical day includes circuit training with weights, strength and conditioning for speed and agility, core exercises like taking heavy medicine ball hits during crunches, mountain runs, and swimming sessions.
I missed that one. I'm gonna 20 of these up. We're gonna put the stuff down like that. We're gonna put on. We're gonna show them why we great. We're gonna show them.
Crawford particularly enjoys swimming as part of his cardio training. He swims for 30 minutes to an hour every night, benefiting from its low-impact nature, which is gentle on the joints while aiding recovery and muscle regeneration. Since swimming isn't natural for him, it requires extra effort, offering a unique form of cardio compared to running. This has proven highly effective in building his endurance. After swimming, Crawford transitions to boxing training, focusing on refining both his offensive and defensive skills. His pad work showcases his dedication, and one of his standout qualities is his effortless ability to switch stances mid-fight, a skill that sets him apart in the ring. Initially, Terence Crawford's coaches encouraged him to stick to one stance, but they soon realized it was better to train him in both. To this day, you'll find him practicing with that dual approach. Like many fighters, Crawford relied heavily on sparring early in his career to sharpen his skills. He was so impressive that even top boxers like Timothy Bradley took notice. Now, as one of the best boxers in the world, others seek him out for sparring. Though they rarely come out on top, Crawford's talent is just that remarkable. While he's naturally right-handed, he's equally skilled at fighting with his left, making him a versatile and unpredictable opponent in the ring. When Crawford spars, his world-class left hand often takes the spotlight. Boxing fans understand that building punching power takes relentless effort, and the heavy bag is a key tool for this. As a professional, Crawford is no exception. He uses the heavy bag to refine his punching technique and build shoulder endurance. Watching him train, you'll see powerful punches, lightning-fast combinations, and a variety of techniques. To maximize his workout, Crawford varies his punching rhythm, sometimes delivering softer hits, and other times unleashing full-force blows, ensuring his training is both effective and dynamic. This exercise is a key part of improving Crawford's overall boxing skills. He has spent most of his life training with his coaches, and one of the most crucial aspects of his regimen is pad work. During these sessions, the focus isn't on power or speed, but on perfecting techniques and working through various offensive and defensive scenarios. Crawford and his coaches also incorporate tools like reaction noodles and punch shields to enhance his movement and precision. Additionally, Crawford is an exceptional shadow boxer, showcasing remarkable skills. What truly sets him apart is his ability to stay composed and adapt to any situation in the ring. Crawford is skilled at throwing both offensive and defensive punches, making it look effortless. But his strength goes beyond physical ability. He's mentally tough too. He often trains under tough conditions to push his limits. When he's not doing that, he uses light 2-kilo dumbbells while shadowboxing to build strength without sacrificing speed or grace, allowing him to hit hard while staying quick on his feet. Crawford is always focused on improving his accuracy and timing, and to achieve this, he uses a special training tool called the double end bag. This helps him fine-tune his footwork and head movement, two essential skills for any boxer in the ring. Crawford's coach, Bao Mack, also adds an element of surprise to his training by using sticks to make Crawford react defensively. On top of that, his nutrition plan is carefully crafted to ensure peak performance and recovery throughout camp. Crawford trusts his coach to handle all his food, saying, "I let my coach take care of everything with the food. My nutritionist tells him what she wants me to eat, and she prepares it." He shared with Muscle and Fitness that the last time his nutritionist was with him throughout the entire camp, taking charge of his meals. He doesn't worry about it, his team cooks, and he just focuses on eating. Mikey Garcia, the younger brother of Ring Magazine's Manager of the Year, Robert Garcia, was one of the skeptics about the potential fight. The former featherweight, super featherweight, lightweight, and super lightweight champion told Fight Hub TV that he wasn't fully on board with the matchup, despite it being one of the most eagerly anticipated by boxing fans. "I'm not a big fan of that fight," Garcia said, pointing out the significant weight difference between Canelo and Crawford. He also brought up Crawford's struggles when moving up to 154 lbs to face Israel Madoff, recalling how challenging that jump was for him.
Right, there are too many weight classes that look apart, and although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo.
Despite Crawford's apparent superior skills, Mikey Garcia believes the size difference would be the key factor in a potential matchup. He feels that Canelo's power and size would likely give him the upper hand. "That's why I'm not a fan of that fight," Garcia said, noting that Crawford has already achieved everything he needed to in the 140-147 lb range, and 154 lbs is a bigger challenge for him. Garcia suggested that if Crawford really wanted to push himself, he could pursue an undisputed fight in his current division. However, he acknowledged that there's not much money in that, while Garcia recognized that a fight between Canelo and Crawford would bring in substantial revenue. As a fan of boxing, he prefers to see Alvarez face opponents within his own weight class, or higher, like BBYV, or a rematch with Dmitry Bivol.
It's, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Yeah.
Garcia expressed that if Crawford wanted to challenge himself, he should move up to 175 lbs again and take on fighters in that weight class rather than facing a smaller fighter moving up. As the highly anticipated showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez continues to stir excitement and debate in the boxing world, more professionals are offering their views. Crawford, known for his versatility and technical skill, is planning to leap 2 weight classes to challenge the undisputed super middleweight champion. This bold move has sparked differing opinions among boxing experts.
Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160.
Yeah,
Canelo ain't gonna come down, maybe 166 max if he accepts. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size.
One prominent figure weighing in on the potential fight is former heavyweight world champion Deontay Wilder. In a recent interview with ES News, Wilder expressed concerns about Crawford's big jump in weight from 147 to 168 lbs. That's way too much, Wilder said, pointing out that while Crawford's ability to switch between southpaw and orthodox stances is impressive, facing much heavier opponents feels different. It's like you're a baby, Wilder added, explaining that while Crawford could still land punches, moving up in weight changes how punches are absorbed. Wilder emphasized that it takes time to adjust to the increased power of bigger opponents. Since Wilder's remarks, Crawford has taken a step toward bridging the weight gap by winning the World Boxing Association Super Welterweight title.
If they do, I'll be there. You know what I mean? That's going to be a good one. Both of them great guys. They got great talent. And both of them very determined. Got that killer instinct. And then it's smart.
Despite Crawford's recent achievement, a significant 14-pound difference still separates him from Canelo Alvarez, a gap that could prove crucial in the outcome of their potential fight. Canelo, known for his relentless punching power and stamina, has firmly established himself as a dominant force in the super middleweight division. Even though he has suffered 2 career defeats, both by decision, he has consistently displayed exceptional defense and resilience, earning his reputation as one of the toughest competitors in boxing. This matchup is set to be an electrifying spectacle, but it also poses a monumental challenge for Crawford.
If they do, I'll be there. You know what I mean? That's going to be a good one. Both of them great guys. They got great talent. And both of them very determined. Got that killer instinct. And then it's smart.
For Crawford to succeed, the Omaha native will need to demonstrate extraordinary adaptability and resilience against an opponent of Canelo's caliber, especially in a higher weight class. While Wilder's concerns about the weight disparity are valid, the allure of this fight is undeniable. It pits 2 of boxing's elite talents against each other in a clash of styles and raw power, and fans are eagerly awaiting what could become one of the sport's most captivating events. What's surprising is that Canelo Alvarez already seems to have a guaranteed opponent for 2025. Not for his May fight, but for his second bout of the year, which is scheduled for September, coinciding with Mexico's Independence Day celebrations in Las Vegas.
Named you and Terence Crawford as one of the top 5 fights that he wants to see this year. Is that a fight that you're considering now?
We'll see. Everything.
After much persistence, it seems Terence Crawford's efforts are finally paying off. The undefeated American fighter will likely be Canelo Alvarez's opponent for his second fight of 2025. However, Saul Alvarez's agreement to face Crawford comes at a hefty price for the promoters, as the Mexican star had already hinted. According to boxing insider Ray Jackson, Canelo will receive $150 million for the fight with Crawford, a figure that Canelo had mentioned at the end of 2024 if they wanted him to consider the matchup. Jackson posted on X that this guaranteed sum would propel Canelo Alvarez back to the top of the highest paid boxers and athletes in 2025, a list he dropped off from the previous year.
Possible. We'll see. We want to talk about it, sit down really well and figure out something.
I know you thought he was kind of a lose-lose situation.
In 2024, the highest paid boxers were Alexander Usyk at $114 million and Tyson Fury at $115 million, both of whom had 2 fights under the promotion of Sheikh Turki Alal. Canelo Alvarez is expected to surpass these figures with his guaranteed fight against Crawford, with additional earnings likely coming from this fight and his May matchup, though his opponent for that fight is still unconfirmed. Since his bout against Crawford last year, Canelo hasn't fought in over a year, despite rumors of a potential fight against Sebastian Fundora being negotiated for later in 2025.
I mean, why not? If Crawford wanna challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great, you know. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm with it. So, you know, I'll be going for Bud, you know, if he fight.
Despite having the opportunity to activate his rematch clause with Crawford, Spence Jr. chose not to, whether because he feels he needs more time to prepare or has lost hope. One thing is certain, Spence knows how formidable Terence Crawford is. According to a tweet from TalkSport editor Michael Benson, Spence recently discussed a potential fight between Crawford and Canelo, adding another layer of intrigue to this ongoing debate in the boxing world.
Fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but I'll definitely be going for Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off.
Yeah. You know,
he's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and not.
Spence Jr. expressed his support for Crawford's pursuit of greatness, saying, "If Crawford wants to challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great. I'm with it." When asked about who he thinks would win in a potential fight between Crawford and Canelo, Spence showed confidence in his former opponent, saying, "I'd be going for Bud. I don't know if he'd win or lose, but if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off." Hall of Fame fighter, promoter, trainer, and analyst Roy Jones Jr. also weighed in on the Crawford-Canelo matchup, discussing potential outcomes. He mentioned David Benavidez, saying it's a tough fight to call because Benavidez throws a lot of punches, and sometimes power can change the course of a fight. Jones shared his thoughts in an interview with BoxingScene.com.
A little big for Crawford, I'm not sure about that because Crawford does have punching power and shock, but I think Canelo's a little big. He showed tonight that he's pretty big, so I probably would rather see.
The issue, according to Roy Jones Jr., is whether Canelo is willing to take the risk. He doesn't think Canelo would take the fight right now, as he likely feels he has no reason to. Jones explained that if Canelo can't hurt Benavidez early on, in the first few rounds, he doesn't see Canelo winning that fight. David Benavidez, a 2-time 168 LB titleist, has been pushing for a fight with Alvarez for the past 2 years. Meanwhile, Crawford, who was once recognized as the best welterweight in the world, is open to moving up 2 weight classes for a shot at facing Canelo. Alvarez, on the other hand, believes that a win over Crawford would do little to enhance his legacy, despite many giving Crawford a real chance at scoring the win.
Charlo fight Crawford first, and then see how that goes. And if he does good against Charlo with the weight, then let's see him come up and fight Canelo. Yes, but not right now. I want to see him.
Roy Jones Jr. expressed confidence in Crawford, saying, "If anybody can do it and pull it off, it's Crawford. You can't tell him no." Jones shared that he was the type of fighter who didn't back down from challenges. He recalled how, in 2003, he moved up 33 lbs to face John Ruiz for the heavyweight title because he wanted to prove he was the pound-for-pound best and make history. That's probably how Bud feels right now, Jones said. He wants to do something historic to solidify his legacy in boxing. Jones also highlighted how exciting it would be for fans to see the pound-for-pound best from yesterday fight the pound-for-pound best from today, calling it a mega fight. He believes that if Crawford can put on the muscle and weight needed for the fight, there's no reason to doubt him. One thing's for sure, he's gonna go out there and fight, not just collect a paycheck, Jones added. He'll try to win because that's who Bud is. If he can carry the weight, it'll be a good fight. He can box like Floyd Mayweather, and he can also fight. He hits and doesn't get hit. If he can take the punch at that weight, he'll probably win the fight.
I want to see Crawford come up some weight classes and show he can be dominant at 54. You understand me?
That fight was done with Crawford and
Crawford won a pound best fighter fight.
Roy Jones Jr., who fluctuated in weight during the later part of his career as a 4-division title holder, believes that Canelo Alvarez should stick to competing at super middleweight. It's definitely best that Alvarez stays at 168, Jones stated. He expressed confusion over why Canelo moved up to 175 to face Dmitry Bivol, saying, "I didn't understand why he went to 175 to fight Bivol. He had already beaten Sergey Kovalev, who was at the end of his career. Bivol was in the middle of his, and they're two different animals. He got the crusher at the right time." Jones added, "Go back down and dominate where you are. Don't try to fight another one, because lightning ain't going to strike twice."
I can bet the house on is Bud. Because me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like soon as I see this dude.
Terence Crawford has been targeting Canelo Alvarez ever since his career-defining victory last year over welterweight rival Errol Spence Jr. While Canelo initially dismissed the idea of fighting Crawford, he recently admitted he would be open to defending his super middleweight titles against a naturally smaller man if the money was right. Shakur Stevenson, who famously refers to Crawford as his big brother, also believes Crawford would defeat Canelo if they ever fought, even with a 14-pound weight disadvantage against the Mexican superstar. In contrast, Canelo, unlike Charlo, has made it clear that he has no interest in a fight with Crawford due to the size difference.
They're not able to walk through me. Honestly, if anybody could jump up in weight classes and do it, it's Terence Crawford. I don't know nobody who is mentally as strong as Terence Crawford. So,
However, Stevenson doesn't think the size difference would be a problem for the pound-for-pound king. The former 28-time world champion firmly believes that skills win fights, not size. He's confident that Crawford has the winning formula with his southpaw stance, excellent movement, and solid fundamentals, which would give Canelo a real headache. That's all for now. For the latest updates on news, moments, events, and action in the world of boxing, make sure to stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications to be alerted whenever we drop quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.